now we'll start. Super. When you're in ChurchDesk, what you'll see is you'll have, of course, your dashboard. We've added a feature to your dashboard where you can actually see your contributions coming in. It's up on the right corner here, and you'll be able to see all of the contributions coming in. It's going to be visible for all your users, so all your users with a login to ChurchDesk are going to be able to see this feature up here. If they want to go to the actual contribution module, they will need the role called contribution. So we've already, when we launched the system, all users with the role user administrator, they've automatically gotten the role contribution. If you want to have somebody else get access to the contribution module, you'll have to go into your team and edit their person. So if I wanted to go to Christian here, I could go and edit his profile, and I could go and add the role contribution and click save. Now he would also have access to the module. If you want to go to contributions, you can go directly from your dashboard. As we see here, you can go and see your contributions, and otherwise you'll use the app switch we have up here that actually allows you access to the different modules. And as you can see here, we've added the contribution option. Here we go. When we enter contribution, the first thing you'll notice is that we have a red beam at the top. This red beam will appear as soon as you've gotten your first contribution, and it requires you to fill in some information concerning your church, and that allows us to transfer the contribution amounts to your church. So this one will be visible until you actually fill out this form, so we can transfer the amounts to you, and then it'll be gone afterwards. Otherwise, you'll notice that we have two tabs in the contribution model. The first one is projects. That's where you can edit and create all of your donation or payment projects. The second one is your contribution, and we'll start with the contribution tab. What you can see here in my test environment here, that I have one contribution. What it will show all of your contribution, and as you can see here, it's been refunded. It has a status here in a gray bar as refunded. Your contributions can have there can be three different stages for your contribution. Once a contribution has been made, you'll be able to see it as pending. And the reason why it's pending is because contribution with ChurchDesk works with a card. So we have a provider called Stripe, and they're going to check if the card has been stolen or if there's been anything wrong in the contribution. And afterwards, they'll approve it, where it will get a green status and it will be approved. What's happened here, it's been refunded because that was a test from my part. So instead of taking it from my card, it's been refunded. So you can always go here and you can see this actual status of the different transactions you will have. And it will continue downwards when you get more and more contributions. The second tab we have is the project tab, and from there you can actually access your different projects. With ChurchDesk contribution, as I said earlier, you'll be able to do, you can see it here, you'll be able to do donations or payment projects. And the way it works is that if you create a donation project, as I've done here, you'll be able to access it and see the individual donations for that project. And you can create as many as you want within the module and share them around the web, anywhere you have a digital presence. And what we're going to do now, we're going to try to create a project together, and I'll create a donation project as an example here. We'll go into it here. Yep. When I create a donation project, the first thing I'll see is give it a project title. So I'll go and I'll say donation project here. Second of all, we will have our start receiving on and a stop receiving on. These two fields have been made so you can determine when you want your contribution, this individual project, to be live. So if I go here and I could say when we reach 30th July, it will actually turn off. The link will still be, if you take this, we're going to have a link we can share that goes automatically to the form connected to this donation project. You'll still be able to access the actual form, but it's going to say that it's actually turned off. So you can manage how long you want your projects to be live. Second of all, you can enable gift date here. whether or not to enable gift aid, and we'll see that in the form later on. You'll also be able to access, there's a read more link here where you can read more about how it works in ChurchDesk. Down here we have a project description. All of the information we insert here when we do the simple setup is information that goes onto the actual form that people will be able to fill out when they want to donate for you. Let me just see, I just got a question. I'm not 100% sure about the question we got, so please write it again, the one who wrote it, and I'll get into it later on. But the project description here, you will be able to see that you can do a short description of the project you're actually doing. In this, it will be donation. I'm just going to write donation, so you'll see it later, but you create your own project description here. Then you can do a project image. I can recommend, if you're doing, if you're talking about this, if it was a special donation for, saving a church bell, etc. on the website, you'll be able to, I could just recommend using the same picture as you actually used on the website where you were talking about this. Or if you did a payment project for a concert, use the same picture you did with the event you actually had the concert on and such. So you synchronize all of the information you have concerning the event. From here, I can go to my computer and take a photo here. I have a beautiful sunset here we'll put in. Here we go. And that's that. That's the first part of the simple setup. What you'll see now is that we can continue to the email setup, or we could save the project. So I could say, I'm done for now, I'll save the project, and I'll have the information here. I could always go back to my projects and see them here. So when I'm ready to continue, I could always continue, go up, click edit, and then go into the simple setup and continue. Let me just see, I just have a question here I'll get into. And there's a question here, where does the image appear? And when I'm finished here, you'll be able to see it because it's going to be on the actual donation form. All of the information, as I said, you see here will be on the information form. So you will see that shortly. And there's a question, if you have a maximum length you can set up donation for, and not to my knowledge, it is something that you're going to be able to test. I don't think we have a maximum on it, but be sure to let me know if that's something that you encounter, and I'll be sure to ask our developers afterwards, and then we'll write you the question, write you the answer for that one. Let us just see here. And it says here, if we don't have an image, what is going to be the default image? And it's simple. If you don't have an image, it's just not going to show an image on the project. So if you don't insert an image, there's going to be no image on the project. Good. Yep. Let me just see here. Let's go continue to the email setup. We click down here. And what we're working with now is actually the confirmation email that your contributors will receive after having clicked donate. So as soon as they fill out the form, click donate, they will receive an email from you. And what we've done is we've created a template for you guys. So you can always go in and you could use this if you wanted to, but you can also customize it to your needs and to the actual project you're doing. There are some special features down here. We call them available variables, and that allows you to customize your email and using the information that you actually have available. So you can actually use some of the information that you will build in your database. As we can see here, it will say dear name first. So in my case, it would say dear Stefan. In other cases, it would say their name. So when you do the form, you're actually going to be able to insert first name, last name, etc. And we can use that information when we send the email. We can also insert amount or the project name or your church name, etc. For now, I'm just going to keep it like it is here, but you can always go in and edit it yourself. It's basically the same when we go to number 3, which is the web setup. And as we said before, we have an email confirmation. We're also going to have a confirmation on the actual page. So when you click donate, you're actually going to have a confirmation message on the page. In this case, we have the same options as we did in the email. You can go and use these variables, and you can always write your own message so it gets exactly how you want it to be. And that's basically it. It's 3 steps to set up a project. As you can see here, there's a faded tab 4 at the top, and it's a feature that's going to come soon, and that will enable being able to donate via mobile phone, so you can use SMS texting and such. That's something our developers are working on right now, and it's going to come in the near future. So that's something I can't go into right now, but it's going to come. That's why you'll see it here. After having created the the donation project, we click Save. And what you'll see here is the actual, you can see its actual page for our project. We can see all the information resident, and what we'll see in the middle is a link. And this is the link that you're going to use when you want to share this donation project. We've created the way we've created, because we've seen a lot of different ways to do donations, and there's some are manual, some are with paper and letters, some are via phone, some works in all kinds of different ways. But there's one way that you can always use, which will allow everybody to donate, and that's using a card, credit card, Visa, etc., and a link. Because the way a link works, you can share it anywhere that you have a digital presence, whether it's SMS, email from your contact module, on your website. You can share it on social media, Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc. So you have the option to share this project literally everywhere that you are. If you have a printed magazine, you'll also be able to, if you have a graphic designer or you know how to do it, you can actually insert a link in a PDF. Otherwise, I would recommend referring to your website where you can donate. So let's take an example. We can take this link and we can share it. Let's start with the website. So if I copy the link, just to be sure, I copy, and then we're going to go to my test website here. And there are a lot of ways of sharing this link on your website. You could choose to share it if you had just a simple page. I have a page here called Donate to Our Church. I could edit the page, write a text. I could mark the text, click, there's a small link icon in the text editor. If I go here, I could insert the link, click new window. What happens when I click new window is that when you actually click the link, it will open a new window. So it's not going to take me away from your website, it's just going to do a new window for me. So I recommend doing a new window when you actually use these types of links. We're going to insert link, and then we're going to save the page here. What happens is that I can actually, as a contributor, I would be on your website, I could click the link, and I would be taken to the actual project form. And as you can see here, we have some of the information that we're doing in the simple setup will be available here. We'll have the picture. You will automatically have your church logo up here. You'll see the text. I only wrote donation, but you will have the text down here. This page has been made responsive, so everything that you see here will fit perfectly, whether you're on a smartphone, on a tablet, a laptop, standard computer screen, etc. It is responsive, which means it will adapt to the page here, what you see. In the actual form, we'll be able to go in and we'll be able to donate an amount. Here we can enable gift aid, and you'll have the options to do personal information such as first name, last name, email, phone, etc. And you actually have the payment details down here. I'm not gonna do this form as of now because I'm not sharing my card details with you guys as of yet. But I can show you exactly how it would look when you actually do it, because when you're in our system, you have the support option up here. And if I click that, I'll be taken into our support. Let me just put it in English here. What you can see is we've actually created 4 guides that helps you manage contributions. You can see exactly how to do it, and one of them is a contribution form. So if I go here, I've put an example for a form that's been filled out. Details, you can click donate. Afterwards, you'll see our thank you page. It'll say Dear John in this example. You'll see it here on the page. What's really cool is that the contributors can easily, just after they've donated, share on Twitter or Facebook that they have donated. So you can imagine me sharing that I've donated for your church on my Facebook. It will be seen by all of my friends. That will be a direct link to where they can do it and such. So it's a really good way of sharing this donation towards others. There'll also be an automated email going to the person with contribution details, a special number that is for this transaction only, and with all of the information that actually put in. And I can see we have a question. There's a question about a gift aid, where one thinks we need to log their actual email address and also the need to take the gift aid declaration. And that's something I can't say as of now, but all these questions are going to be saved, and we have a project manager in charge of this contribution model. As I know this person who's asked the question is also in dialogue with, so we'll be sure to check it right away. And if it's something we need to do, of course we'll enable it. So I'll save this question for our actual project manager. And it's perfect. If you have any more questions like this, please don't hesitate to write it, because even though I might not be able to answer it right now, we're going to have some information from you specific to the UK market that we can actually take forward to our project manager, and he can actually investigate whether it's something we need to do or how does it work, etc. So please don't hesitate to insert these questions. It's really valuable knowledge for us and able to do the contribution model exactly as it should be. Great. Continuing on with sharing the project, it's a simple link we've chosen. We've chosen that because in order to keep it simple for all of our customers, and also so you can share it everywhere. Because I could easily go in, if I wanted, on the front page of my site, I could share it there. I could also put it in, let's say we created a payment for a concert. I could go in, if I had a concert here, insert it into the actual event. And there are literally a million different options where you can share this link. One of them I would recommend to you is also using it in the contact module. I can show you a bit of some of the features that is what we're thinking is going to be really valuable for churches in the contact module. Because as you saw in our contribution, if I go to contributions here, I'll be able to see a donation from Stefan Kongstoft. That's me, the one I did earlier, 2 hours ago. First of all, what we're going to be able to do is we can actually write a message directly back to the person who contributed by clicking this small icon here. And if we click Stefan Kongstoft, we've gathered a lot of data from the person. You can see my phone number, email address, etc. And we're actually going to be able to start communicating to that person. So you can see with all the contributions you might do, you might have coming in, whether it's payment or whether it's donations, you're actually going to be able to re-engage those people. Because what you see here is, you might not have noticed it, but it's actually taken us to our people module. So if I go back to contributions, I can show it again. Because as soon as a person contributes via the form, they're also going to become a contact in your contribution module. So you're going to start building data on your congregation and your community in general, everyone who has an interaction with your church. Because when we click me, it takes me into the people module, and we're actually in the people module now, where we can see the contributions I've made. So we'll be able to see my contribution history throughout time. And we're also going to be able to, if I wanted to, I could insert a tag here. I could say insert a newsletter tag, for example. Then I would be on your newsletter list. And here we go again. And you should all be able to see my screen right now. Let's see. Before I continue here, I'll just check. I can see that we have we have a question here. It's about the refunded or payment, and it says how do we do that? So it's from, you can imagine if you're sitting and you would like to refund a payment, it's not something you're going to be able to handle from your side. But the way it's going to work is we're using a supplier called Stripe. I'll get into that afterwards. It's a supplier that handles all these transactions, and it's them who has to refund the money if that is the case. So what you're going to do is you're going to write us saying that we have this person. Basically, you could go into your contribution, and as you saw earlier, we have a specific link for the project and the donation when we saw the email. So if I wanted to this donation to have it refunded, I could always just say, let's go into this person, we would like this donation to be refunded. So it's something we're going to handle for you guys. The other way it could work was that you would have to contact Stripe, but in order to keep you only having one contact and having a fast way of getting it done, it's something we're going to handle. So it's something you're also getting, that we're actually handling all of the support and everything you'll have surrounding this contribution and the external supplier it is. I'll get shortly into Stripe afterwards, but what I can tell you from it, it's something I didn't show you before, but it is 100% sure. I can just show you here. It's one of the concerns we had from another customer that said, is it sure? And I can show you here how it actually worked, because if we go to the actual form, you'll see in the top left corner, you'll see this log, and there's an HTTPS. That means it's an encrypted site, and it's the same encryption you'll see when you enter a bank online, etc. It's a really strong encryption that safeguards all of the information that we have here. So it is totally secure way to donate and contribute. Great. Moving back, I was talking a little bit about actually having the persons here, and it's something that we've made sure to enable in the system, that you actually get contacts when you do it, because you can imagine once you actually start receiving contributions, you'll also build your database. And in that regard, you're also going to build the possibility to connect with your congregation and your community. Because you can imagine having a lot of contribution coming in, you can easily send to Stefan here as an example in a segment saying, yeah, Stefan, we have a concert coming up, blah, 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 via email, etc., or an SMS. So you can actually start getting outside, instead of having to wait for people to look at your website or send a letter, you're actually going to be able to contact all of your contributors and build your congregation with this module. And it's really easy because it's created automatically for you. When you want to share the project, I showed how you can share it on the website. You can also do social media, but of course you also have the options to go into your messages. We can see I have a draft here with a summer concert I created. If we've created, let's say we created a payment for a summer concert, you could easily go in, create an email for this segment. And of course you could also go in and say, I've written, you can pay entry fee here. I could insert the link from our contribution project, send the email, and we could actually write people that you've signed up for the concert. Here you go, you can pay the entry fee here. So it's another way of doing it. And of course you can also share it via SMS if you create one of those. Great. Are there any questions so far? I think I've taken the ones that were. Of course, there were one question that I couldn't answer, but I'm taking concerning the gift date and the log, and I'm gonna take that to the one in charge of this contribution project, so he can get into it. But is there anything else you'd like to see or you'd like to know about the contribution module? Otherwise, there's not a lot more that I can tell you. It's a really simple but really powerful module, especially because it connects to your own people database. So you can actually start building contributions or building contacts that way. Lastly, if there isn't any questions, let me just see here. We have a few coming in. I will just take those. It says, how well does it integrate with forms? And I'm thinking there's that the person who asked is referring to the forms that we have in ChurchDesk, the actual form you can do on your site. And as of now, in terms of contacts, you can easily take the link and share it via, let's say if you have a flow for a concert, I can show you this. But the way our forms works now is that you can't put, let's say I fill out a form, if there was a sign up for a concert, it's not possible for me to go into your people module automatically. You would have to download the data into an Excel and import it into the to the people module. It's really easy, and I'll be happy to do it for you guys and take a screen sharing session where we can do it together. But as of now, it doesn't go automatically like it does with contribution module. But it is something that we're planning to do, so it will come. I can't promise when, but it is gonna come. We wanted the sign-up forms to go automatically into your people module. But it's a good question on how it actually integrates with the forms. The way I would do it, and this is just me, of course you should always do it with your own needs, but you could go, let's say we went to the internet. We can take the example with the concert again. So let's imagine that I had a concert. I was planning a concert and you would like to have sign up for the concert. What you could do is we could create a concert here, a form. I've created a form and I've made a menu link for the top menu here. And it's a simple form asking for first name, last name, email, and phone. And once I have those informations, I will be able to go to my form and I could download the data results here via the action button. When I have the Excel, I would be able to take the Excel and I could import it into my people module here, up here. And then you can imagine, let's say we had 200 signups for a concert. Once I have that data, I could import it to the people module and I could then create a contribution project and actually send it out to these people saying there's an entry fee, here it is, and it costs this, and insert the link. Or I could go into the form and I could say, let's do it directly. When you create a form with ChurchDish, you have the opportunity to go in and actually change the what the person sees after having clicked submit. Let's see here. If I go up to the action button, I was a bit faster, but you can go to the action button. You can actually go and set edit submissions settings. And from here, it's just as you saw in the contribution setup, where we were editing what the person would see, a thank you message on the page. And we can do the same here. So I could easily go in here and I could say, thank you for signing up. Let's just see here. We'll give it another here. There. And I could say you can pay your entry fee here. Of course, I would recommend giving a bit more information that I've done here, but it's just to give you an idea you could do it. And of course here I could edit again, insert a link, new window, and insert it here. Let's go and save the form. Yep. Here we go. So what will actually happen if I go to view the form now? So let's say we had a concert. I could go and say, I would love to participate in this concert. I could write my email and such, phone number, and I could submit. And what I'll see is, thank you for signing up. You can pay your entry fee here. So I could actually already here, you can do the whole workflow. I could pay my entry fee. This is the donation project we created earlier that I'm using, but in the sense you can actually see here how it will work. And of course, when you do a payment project, the gift aid option is not going to be here. So it's going to be just a normal payment. But you can actually do the entire workflow by just connecting the information you have available in the different stages you are for the workflow you're doing. So there are one or two options you can do this. Right now I could take all of these results from my form, concert form, download to my computer. I could insert it in the people module, and then I could start re-engaging these contacts. I could say, have you also noticed that we have another concert on that date? Or have you also noticed that we're doing Messy Church on these dates, etc., etc. So you can see you're actually starting to communicate with people in a whole different way than you might have been used to using these modules, because they're integrated across. So this is my idea of how I would connect with a form as of now, and the automation from form to people module will come. That's something we're working on, so it will come eventually. Great. Any other questions? If there's something you want to see, if you have questions regarding this module, please let me know. You're also always welcome to write us at support@churchdish.com. You also have the in-app from your system. It's not in mine here, but you can see it on the top right corner of your screen. You can always write us via the chat option directly. You're more than welcome to call us on our UK number and just get in contact with us if you have any questions. We'll take it as fast as we can. There is one thing I'll just get back to, and that is the support here. If you have any questions regarding our the Stripe, we can see here we have, first of all, we have 1 to 4. It's guides that's showing you how to use contribution in ChurchDish, but we also created 2 articles about how you actually, all the questions that might appear. So Whenever we get a question that we think could be relevant for others, we actually update this FAQ form. And what you can see here is there's some information about Stripe. You'll also be able to see here what it actually costs to use our contribution model. There's a fixed fee. You can see it here for Great Britain. It is 20 pence here. And you can also see there's a 4% of the total amount on all transactions. So that's actually cost you'll get on all your transactions. It's quite clear here. So I recommend you go into this FAQ guide and check if there's any information that you can find here. And we've also created a whole article just about our supplier Stripe, and you can read a bit about them there. It's a really big company that's used to handle all of these processes. So they're used to doing donations and payments and such digitally. Here. If there isn't any other questions, let's see here. I don't think I can see anything else. That's all that I had regarding our contribution module in order to how to use it and the best practice. We'll get back to it once we have some, as soon as we see some customers using it, we'll be able to share some best practice example and get into how you actually really become successful with it. That's something we're going to share with all of you as fast as we can. But otherwise, that's all that I had for now. I wish you all a great afternoon. And I hope you'll start using the contribution module when you can. Of course, any questions, or if you'd like to see it again, just don't hesitate to get in contact with us and we'll help you as fast and best as we can. Bye.